Right. I got a little story for you. This one was a little while ago. I can remember like when I was like back in my bot days, back in the Matrix, just hanging out with anyone and anyone. I can remember like this. When was this? This was like a couple years ago. This was probably like three. Now how old is I at the time? But probably like 17. I was 17 at the time. I'm 20 now. So it's yeah, I'm 20. So it's 3 years ago. And I can remember. This was like when I was like back at college. And I was just chilling with this anyone, but I'm telling you, like I'm just that kind of guy, but I'll just chill with anyone because I'm just a cool guy, but literally people know when they hang around me, but I'm just a nice guy, bro. Literally I'm a nice guy. And yeah, bro, that was my problem, bro. But yeah, right, this was, how did this all happen? Right, cool. I think I met this guy, like, I remember I was down in my, like, I was down in the high street, local high street down there. And I was just shopping in like JD or something. I was in JD looking for something. And I remember when I was walking out now. And then I remembered, like, I saw, like, someone I knew from college. I was like, oh. He's like, oh, what are you saying? You know when you catch on? He's like, oh, what are you saying, bro? Like, I was like, yeah, nothing much, literally. I'm just about to go home. And he's like, oh, bro, there's a party later. You wanna come? I didn't even know this guy too well, but he went to my college and I was like, you know what, fuck it. It's local and I might as well go. Because there's not many parties that happen in this area, bro. You know what I mean? So I was like, fuck it, I'll come. And I remember you messaged me, it's probably like 7 o'clock, 7, 8. Nah, probably like 7 o'clock. I remember you messaged me, said, yeah, come out now. So I brought my scooter. He had his scooter and he said, bring your scooter. So I brought my scooter with me. And I remember I went to go meet him now. And I met him. And I met him at like some apartment like block. You know what I mean? Like some little apartments. We went inside there and we're chilling there because like the party hasn't started yet. I think it started at like 9 or so, like 8 or 9. Something like this, bro. And we're just sitting there chilling. And we're waiting for one of his guys as well. And eventually his guy turned up like after like 30 minutes. So we're going to the party now. I had like his guy in the back of my scooter and we're just riding down to the party. It was like 10 minutes away. It wasn't too far away. It was local, innit? So I remember we went there now. Like we turn up there now. And a couple of his guys are already there. You know what I mean? You probably shouted more people. Literally, a couple of other guys were there. These guys were cool. I can't lie, bro. These guys were cool. And we were just chilling. Like, everyone was just chilling. Like, we're just chilling there, waiting to get in. And imagine, we went up to the line now. Like, we went up to the line to go queue up to go in the party now. And the guy's like, yeah, it's like £10 to get in. You can't get in without 10 sheet. We're like, what? 10 sheet? Who's trying to pay a 10 sheet, bro? I remember the guy that I was with, like, this guy was funny, bro. Like, I can't lie, bro. This is why I like this guy, bro. He's just a funny guy, but this guy, he's a sly guy, bro. Literally, he knows, bro. If this guy watches this video, you know who you are, bro. Literally, you're a sly guy, bro. You're funny, but you're sneaky. Literally. But yeah. Somehow he must have coalesced the guy. He got the guy to get us in the party. He's like, yeah, bro, I don't know what he said to him, but we didn't pay shit to get in. And I was kind of happy because I wasn't trying to spend no money to get in. So I remember we got in the party now. There's like a couple of us. And the thing is, I don't even know these people like that. I just know them from my college, bro. I don't know them like that personally. So for me to go out my way to go with these people is kind of different, bro. You know what I mean? Most people wouldn't do that. But yeah, we're in the party now. I remember we walked in. It's like a little garden, bro. Literally, it's in this garden. You weren't allowed in the house or anything. There was just like drinks. Like, you only had drinks. There weren't no food or nothing. You know, like that, bro. It's just drinks, like punch, this alcohol, little gazebo, DJ booth. And there weren't even many people there. Like when we turned up, there weren't that many. There was probably like 15. There's like probably like 15 people. It's only a little small garden, bro. You know what I mean? And we're there now. Literally, we're there. It's like 10 o'clock now. 10 o'clock. And me and the guy put our scooters on charge because we both had scooters. We put our scooters on charge. And who else turned up? Now some things turned up. Literally, there was like a couple things that turned up, and we were all just chill. Like everyone was just vibing, to be honest. And most of the time, this is what I realized. Like I spent most of the time in that party on my own, bro. Like I actually enjoyed my own company at that party, bro. Imagine. That's how I knew I was chosen, bro, because I wasn't even with the people that I was really with, bro. I was just going around doing my own thing, bro. You know what I mean? And I felt confident with it as well. I actually felt like the party was mine, bro. You know what I mean? And then, okay. Right. Now, like, later on in the party, the guy that I came with, more of his guys turn up. More of his guys turn up now. And the thing is, I met one of these, one of the guys that turned up at the party. I met him before I went to the party, bro. But he didn't come with us because he didn't have no scooter. I remember he didn't have no scooter, so he didn't come with us. And then, so now, what happened now? So I remember all this chilling. Everyone's just vibing, bro. Literally, it's chill party, bro. Literally, everyone's just vibing and chilling. And then eventually, like, the guy that I came to the party with, he came up to me. He's like, oh, come. He's like, come, let's come get them. Like, he's like, oh, go talk to them things. Go talk to them things. Me, I just went out my way, but I just went there straight away. I just went over to that. It's like a light-skinned girl and a white girl. Literally, I went up to both of them. I just tapped them on their shoulder, bro. I was like, oh, can I talk to you for a second? Can I talk to you for a second? I just said, can I talk to you for a second? And then they just stood up. They just followed my commands, bro. That's what I realized. They just followed my command. They didn't even say no, yes. Like, they just fully just stood up, not saying nothing. It's like they were, bro, these girls are ready, bro, I'm telling you. And I remember, I had the light-skinned girl and this guy had the white girl. So, I remember we took them through the dance floor. And we took them to, like, the back bit. There was, like, a back bit of the gazebo. Like, where you can go around where there's, like, no one there. I remember I just took the girl around there. And this guy had the white girl. And literally, I remember, like, this girl was actually decent, but I can't lie. Like, this girl was actually kind of decent. She had, like, a dress on. Bro, this girl was actually pretty... I can't lie, bro. Like, I got it in that day, bro. Literally, I remember me and her just started... I remember we're just, like, lipsing, bro. This girl just started kissing me, bro. We're just kissing. And one of this guy's guy came around the corner while I was, like, lipsing this girl. He came around the corner and he was just watching me, bro. Like, you know, with that envious look, bro. Like, he's just watching me, bro. Like, oh, that should have been me in that situation. That should have been me. You know, like, that kind of, like... I'm sure he probably thought that in his head, bro. Like, he probably thought, like, that should have been me in that situation, not him. So, literally, I had to push this girl away because she was just, like, lipsing me for too long, bro. And it got kind of, like, awkward, bro. I was like, she was doing it for so long, bro. I was like... I just kind of, like, pushed her away a little bit. Not pushed her, like, I was like, back up, bro. And then after all of that, I remember, like, well, going back through the gazebo now, literally, now we're done with the things. I remember we went back through the gazebo, left the things, and now everyone's just on the dance floor, bro. I remember everyone was on the dance floor with all this. Like, I remember I got a wine off the same thing that I was lipsing, but I was winding her up. Everyone was just watching, but I'm saying it was so bait. I was like right in the middle, of, like right next to the DJ booth, just giving this girl a wine. I had like a zoot in my mouth. Literally at this party I was smoking, but I shouldn't have been smoking and drinking. I was smoking and drinking. And now that I know I'm chosen, I shouldn't have been doing that. I didn't know at the time, literally. That's why them demons from all these people probably came onto me, bro. But yeah, I was drinking and smoking. And that probably lowered my vibration so much. But yeah. Yeah, I was just getting a wine off her. So bait. Everyone watching. Zoot in my mouth, smoking. Literally, I think there's a recording out there somewhere. Maybe, like, if I can get it one day, like, you can see it. But yeah, bro, literally. And then someone that I knew turned up to the party as well. Another guy that I knew turned up to the party. And he's like, oh, what are you doing here? What are you doing? How did you get here? Like, who did you turn up with? And he must have, like, he realised that I turned up with this other guy. So now that this other guy turned up to the party, literally, at the time, this guy was cool. I chilled with him. And we're just chilling for, like, most of the party. Me and him were just smoking, chilling. And just, literally, he was just by my side, but I can't lie. And then, like, later on, it's probably like 12 at night now, 12. Like, the party's starting to wrap up. Everyone's starting to leave. All the girls are left now. And one of the guys, like, one of the guys from another group, like, came up to one of the guys that I was chilling with, that turned up to the party. He went up to him, he's like, oh, do you know him? Like, what? Like, do you know my man? Do you know him? And he's like, yeah, that's my guy. And then me at the time, I saw what this guy, like, it didn't look right what he was doing. Like, do you know when you can sense something's not right? Like, I can sense something's not right, but I didn't take it abroad on the situation. Because when he spoke to him and he turned around to come back to me, I looked at him and I was thinking, these guys are talking about me, bro. Literally. And then he came back to me, he's like, oh yeah, he's asking, like, do I know you? Or something? Like, do I know you and that? And then that's when it kind of, like, clicked in my head, like, something's not right here. And then another guy came up, like, he just asked me, bro, he's like, oh, he's like, you trying to shop that scooter? You trying to shop that electric scooter? I was like, nah, literally, I just got it recently. And he's like, oh, cool. And imagine, this guy must have been on the phone. Like, I got told about this afterwards, but this guy must have been on the phone. He must have been like, oh yeah, I got a lick for electric scooter, stuff like this. I was thinking, I didn't know this at the time, but that's what someone told me. So now, it's like this other group's like trying to get my trust in that, because I remember, like, this guy's like, oh yeah, take a picture of us. He gave me his phone. He's like, yeah, take a picture of us. Literally, I took a picture of them. It's like they're trying to gain my trust a little bit. You know what I mean? You know, like that, bro, trying to be cool with me. And then, bro, now the party's just wrapping up. Everyone's just leaving now. Like, it's got to the point where, like, I remember, like, the guy that turned up to the party recently, he's like, oh yeah, he's like at one point, he's like, oh yeah, we should go, like, it's kind of late now. And he's like, oh yeah, like yeah, we should go, like Dylan, like, we should go, we should leave. And I asked him, like, I was like, why should we leave? And he's like, oh, we should go, like, you know what I mean? And I was like, but why though? Like, why? Like, he won't tell me why. Like, he's just telling me, like, we should leave, but I don't know why at the time. He ain't telling me. So eventually, like, after the whole party's ended, it's probably like 1, I'm telling you, it's like 1, 2 in the morning, some shit like this, bro. Right. So we're walking out the party now. We're walking out onto the road. Like he's on like a back street, like proper back street. It's late night. There's no one on the road. And, bro, I was kind of on my own because I don't know these people like that. These people all know each other. Like, they know each other somehow, some sort of way. But I don't know none of these people. And I remember we're all just walking down the back road. And everyone's with us now. Literally, all the groups are with us, everything. So I remember I had the scooter with me. And one of the guys came up to me, like, he like walked up beside me. Some black brother, bro. He just walked up beside me. He's like, oh, can I get a go on that scooter? I was like, but I just told the guy, bro. I was like, the scooter's on 1 bar, like, it ain't gonna go nowhere. So basically, I just told him, bro, it ain't gonna go nowhere. So that, basically, yeah. So he just kind of backed down, bro. He backed down and he stepped back. He's like, oh, cool. Like, this, he didn't come off like too, like, aggressive, bro. And then, like, a couple seconds later, he dropped back now. So a couple seconds later, another black guy, bro. He came up to me. He's walked up beside me now. And this guy's like, he's like, he's like, he's like, let me get a go on that scooter. He's like, let me get on that go on that scooter real quick. I was like, nah. I was like, the scooter's only on one bar. I was like, it ain't gonna go nowhere. And he's like, oh, I only want to go down the road. Like, I just want to ride it real quick. Just let me get a go. I was like, bro, it ain't gonna go nowhere. Like, I'm trying to tell this guy, bro, like, it ain't gonna go nowhere. And he's like, oh, I only want to go down the road. Just let me just ride the scooter real quick. Like, I ain't gonna steal your shit or anything. Bro, but I just told him again, bro, like, no, like, bro, it ain't gonna go nowhere. I just kept telling him no. And this guy keeps trying to pressure me, bro. You know, like that, bro. He keeps trying to pressure me. Like, this guy is applying pressure. He's aggressive, bro. And then, so we're walking, like, we got, like, all the way down this guy's road now. Now we're fully on, like, the main back road now. We're just on the road now. And this guy kept trying to pressure me, bro. He's like, let me get a go on that scooter. Like, let me get a go on that. I was like, no. Like, at this point, I just kept telling him no, because I already know... Now, because I already know what he wants to do, because as soon as he said that I don't want to steal your shit, that straight away clicked in my head. Like, he's trying to rob me, bro. And I was like, fuck. I'm getting myself into a sticky situation right now, because my scooter's on one bar. I can't even ride off and go nowhere. There's nowhere to go. I got no one here to back me or nothing. I was like, but I'm kind of I don't know how I'm going to get out of this one. And this guy fully, like, started a confrontation. I remember he fully started a confrontation with, like, right in the middle of the road. Like, he's fully, like, he tried to ask again. He's like, let me get a go on that scooter. And I told him no, like, in a low kind of voice. I didn't shout enough yet. I just said it in a low voice, bro. Like, you know, like that, bro. Like, when you have authority, bro. I just said it in a low kind of voice. And he just fully stopped, or he fully stopped. And the thing is, I had to stop as well, so I stopped. And he's looking at me like, do you know when you stop and look at someone, like, he's just looking at me like he's gonna do something, bro. And I've stopped as well. And I remember, we're just standing in the middle of the road now. And the thing is about this, everyone was just watching this. Like, no one's trying to get involved, back it or nothing. Literally, people are just standing on the pavement, on the road, just watching this. All of his guys are watching this. The guy that turned up to the party is watching this. But everyone's just watching this, bro. No one's getting involved or saying nothing, bro. And I'm like, fuck. Like, everything at this point, everything went quiet. Like, everything went quiet because he's went to go grab me now. Like, he's grabbed me, like, by my jacket. He's grabbed me by my jacket. And he just started, like, dragging me. He's trying to, like, drag me. You know, like that, but he's trying to drag me. He's dragging me. And he's trying to test me, bro. And I weren't moving. I remember I weren't moving. Like, I'm telling you, I was barely moving. Like, he's fully trying to drag me. And I still had the scooter in my hand. I was holding the scooter with one hand in my right hand. And now that he realized that, oh yeah, I can't move this guy. Like he stopped now. He must have thought twice, bro. Literally, because I weren't moving. He must have thought twice. And then, what happened after that? Like, what actually happened after that? Right, now, because the thing is, now, this guy, he has like a bottle in his hand. He has like a bottle, bro. He's got like a bottle. He's got like an alcohol bottle from like what he had from the party. And he's like trying to threaten me with it. You know, like that, but he's like trying to threaten me. He's like, because I remember, like, he let go of me. When he let go of me, he like let go of me. And we're all just standing there. Everything has gone quiet, bro. Like, no one's not saying anything. Everyone's just gone quiet, bro. So I'm just looking around. Like, do you know when you just look around, like, real quick, like, just to observe, like, what everyone's doing. So I'm looking around and everyone's just there, just looking, not saying nothing. So I was like, yeah, all of these guys are, like, cool with each other. I was like, yeah, fucking hell. And then I remember, like, because no one was saying anything or doing anything, so I was just sitting there thinking, like, what can I actually do? Like, I can't even say nothing or do anything because there's so many of them. But I'm telling you, there's so many of these guys, bro. There's like seven, eight of them. 7, 8 of these guys. That's what I mean, bro. I'm telling you, bro. These low vibrational people. This is why I got to be careful around them. Literally, bro. But yeah, there's like 7 of them. And not even one of them could even be like, oh yeah, like this guy's on his own, like allow it, bro. Literally, that's what I mean, bro. People are cowards, bro. But yeah, I remember like I went to go grab the bottle, you know, like that. I went to go grab the bottle like slowly, like because he's not saying anything. So I went to like go grab the bottle, and he's like, "Don't touch the bottle if I smash it over your head." So straight away, I just removed my hand. Like slowly, and I just was standing there. I was just standing there, and I wasn't doing nothing. And I was thinking to myself, like, there's nothing I can really say here. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna get out of this situation. And then one of his guys like came up from behind me. Like, he must have just walked up behind me. He's like tried to drag the scooter. Like, he's tried to walk up behind me, like to the point where he's like trying to drag the scooter off my hand. So I held the scooter back, and he couldn't get it. So I was just sitting there still. And then he just like tried to put his arm around my shoulder. He put his arm around my shoulder, and he's like, what did he say? He's like, oh, let me. He's like, give the scooter. He's like, give the scooter. And then I was just like, bro, I just told him no, like no, literally. And then he's like, come around the corner. He's like, come around the corner for a second. I want to come chat to you around the corner. I remember just telling this guy, like, come around the corner and go where? I remember just telling him, like, come around the corner and go where? I remember just pushed this guy. I pushed him. Some Arab guy, literally, I just pushed this guy, and he kind of moved. I remember this, because I remember looking at this guy after when I pushed him. And he's like, I'm telling you, he must have thought, like, this guy really just pushed me. I'm telling you, he must have thought that in his head, because he probably didn't expect it. And then we're all just standing there. Everything's still quiet. No one's saying anything. We're all just standing there now. Because these people probably didn't think that I was going to be like that. How I was going to be to them. He probably thought I was just going to give up the scooter and that would be it. That would be over with. And then, because they must have been thinking, wow, this is not the guy that I thought. I'm telling you, this is not the guy that I thought. Fuck. And then everything's still quiet. We're still sitting there. No one's saying nothing. So I'm like, how can I even get out of this? You know what I mean? How can I get out of this? And then I think it's like a God blessing. But I'm telling you, it's like a God blessing because someone like came out from the party. But it's late night. But I'm telling you, it's like 2 a.m, some shit like this. Someone came out from the party. He's like, oh, what's going on? This, that. Just. And then he came over. He's like, oh, what's going on? This guy is lying to the guy, saying like, oh, you took my scooter, stuff like this. But I just looked at the guy, bro. I didn't even say one word. I didn't even say nothing, bro. I just left the scene just as it was. I left the scene, and I went straight. But I remember I went straight home. And when I got home, I just thought about that whole situation. I thought straight away, like, how did I even get out of that situation? That's how I knew I had God on my side, bro, because I don't even know how I got out of that situation. These guys probably thought the same thing, like, how did this guy just overcome 7 of us trying to rob him and it didn't even work? Literally, I can't believe that. That's why you always gotta love the Almighty High, bro, because I know he looked out for me on that day. I might not have been looking out for myself that day, but I know he was looking out for me that day. And now that I look back on it, I know for sure he was, because there's no way I would have got that situation, I'm telling you. But yeah, moral of the story for chosen ones out there, and yeah, there's chosen ones, bro. Be careful who you hang around, because you never know someone's true intentions. I never knew this guy was gonna be like that. I never knew that guy was that horrible. And literally, from how cool he was, from showing me, like, he was showing me that he was a cool guy, but you never really know someone, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You never really know someone. And that's why I never knew I was chosen. These people probably knew these people knew I was chosen at the time. I didn't know. And that's why you gotta be careful, chosen ones, because these demons, they're lurking. And now I know, bro, these guys have, bro, these people had demons inside them. It's them demons that are going against me. And this is all spiritual, bro. It's spiritual because they knew there was something different about me. They just didn't know, like, they just couldn't put their hand on it, like their finger on it. But yeah, after everything, I remember we went to college like the next couple days. I think it was like the next couple days I had to go back in. I went back in and I saw the same guy, bro. I saw like the same guy. Bro, the thing is, I saw the same guy and I went to go speak to him, like, what was that all about? Like, what was that all about, bro? You know what I mean? And he's like, oh, people try to do the same thing to me. Or, like, yeah, people try to rob me before, stuff like this. I didn't even argue with this guy, bro. I didn't even argue with him. I was just still nice to him, but I didn't even argue with him or nothing. That's what I realized. Us chosen ones were nice people. And there's no point of stooping down to someone's level and being angry, bro. I wasn't even angry at the situation because at least I got out of it. You know what I mean? That's what you got to think about. At least I got out of the situation. Imagine if I didn't get out of that. But yeah, like, and then the same guy that robbed me, the same guy that tried to rob me, I saw him again as well. Like, he apologized for what he done. And I just accepted it, but I didn't take the situation to heart because, to be honest, there was something kind of minor. Like, it was over a little scooter, bro. You know what I mean? It's something minor, bro. Like, I don't even know why these men even came out their way to even come try to rob me. Like, you know what I mean? Just for a little, like, $2 scooter. Literally. That's what I mean. People are crazy nowadays. People do some crazy shit for some little money. That's why you gotta be careful. But yeah, like, that day I learned a lot of life lessons, bro. Don't just be hanging out with just anyone and anyone, and don't be putting trust in, like, strangers and stuff like this, bro, because, as I said, bro, you never really know someone and what their true intentions really are. That's why sometimes you really gotta be wary, bro. I'm telling you, be wary. But yeah, that was a life lesson to be learned that day. That's something I won't forget. Like, that's something that I won't forget. Like, because if that was the other way around and I did that to one of these guys, and I had 7 of my brethren trying to rob, like, one of these guys in their own, it would be a whole completely different story. Like, these guys wouldn't like it. That's what I mean, bro. Don't do things to people that you don't like, that you wouldn't like to happen to yourself, because you wouldn't want to be in that same situation. But I know for a fact these guys must have received the worst karma, bro. I'm telling you, these guys are probably going through it now till this day, bro. Now till this day, because of how blessed I am. These lot didn't know how blessed I was. Now they know how blessed I am, and I know for a fact they're receiving karma. I don't know how you're receiving karma, in what way, but I know you're receiving it in some sort of way. Because I didn't retaliate to none of it. I didn't go out, no violence, go try attack someone or nothing. I just left it as it was and left the situation because it didn't need to be taken no further. So that's how I know these guys would have received something, bro. They are going through something, I'm telling you. And I wish I could know, but only these people will know. But yeah, like, goddamn, man, that's what I realized, bro. Don't rob people. Robbing people is the worst kind of thing, bro. Robbing someone. That's what I realized. I used to do things like this back in the day. I used to try to rob people for their scooters and stuff, like, to make quick money. But now that I look back at it, like, how dumb I was in them stupid situations, it weren't worth it, bro. And it's not good to rob someone, but I'm telling you, it's the worst thing to rob someone because you wouldn't want it to happen to you. But yeah, we all live and we learn. And yeah, goddamn, man. But that was a crazy day, but I can't lie, that was a crazy day. And the thing is, I was a little bit like, as I said, but I was smoking and drinking at the same time. As I said, but I don't even know how I got out of that, bro. Madness. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the story. That was a long one. Me just waffling to the camera for like 30 minutes. Goddamn, man. Be safe out there. Stay tuned. Drop a like and a sub. And I'm out. Peace.